said in the papers. That can't be the whole story.
So I wonder what the Morrigan is all up to. Can we pet the cats? No, we can't.
And now a dragon. Some people lost their home.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlathan?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and he needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Ah, my
Good
Inquisitor.
sea lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Trevelyan, the man who led us all.
Trevelyan? Isn't that the name of a noble family down in the south?
Yes. I remember the days before the Inquisition when Trevelyan family politics were the most complicated part of my life. Simpler times.
I fear that simpler times are like to remain a memory, for now.
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elgar'nan and Gillenane.
I don't know what if we can do it. You can count on me.
I won't let you down.
Don't worry about me.
Harding approves.
Worry about the people you've recruited, and about the people depending on you. I only sealed the breach because I had people like Cassandra, Liliana, and Cullen with me from the start. Without Dorian's magic and Josephine's diplomacy, we never would have come together to stop Corypheus.
Yeah.
Years later, I had to turn the Inquisition over to Chantry control. But I never lost the friends who had gotten me through it all. Ultimately, they're the only ones you can really count on.
He was looking at Harding.
Do right by them, and you'll find your way.
We've got the makings of a good team, I think. We'll do our best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do his best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect.
She has that
most of the South is under siege
mask
by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
of Flemeth.
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. He has not been idle while you assembled your
Well,
team.
that's probably a good thing. But yeah, in the Inquisition, we were like in a halfway of the game B then, and then the whole Chantry crowd starts to sing "Dawn Will Come." Very beautiful scene actually.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south?
Elgar'nan and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Orlais. Valrayo and Halam Sharal are barely holding out.
Okay, interesting.
Ferelden would have fallen already if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe.
Again.
The Free Marches have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Vallon led the evacuation
Aveline,
of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker,
Okay.
we didn't know. My mom.
Don't worry. I talked to the Divine and your mother's safe with the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might just be an
Okay,
arm
so it's
of
a
Chantry
full-blown
now.
blight.
But we've still done our part to get people to fight this threat together. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the blight.
Easy.
If the south is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets
Yeah,
of the
she was the
Illuvians?
first.
Morgan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the Dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet him.
Okay, what do we need? Connection, spies, army.
What I really need right now is information. If you have anyone who can help.
I'm sorry. The only reliable sources of information I have up here are Morrigan, Dorian, and Harding.
All of whom are already helping us. I understand.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. He brought something no one else could.
That's
A wolf statuette.
okay.
We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solas' ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the veil. To him, somehow.
Solas is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Solas is trapped in the Fade. He's not my biggest concern at the moment.
Solas is trapped in your dreams, and while he cannot match Elganon or Gillenane in strength, he is far more cunning. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many times do you think the gods thought him trapped and helpless?
I considered Solas a friend. I had hoped to convince him to see reason. It's too late for that now. But still, if this can give you some insight, help you understand him, whatever it turns out to be, I hope that it helps.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help you, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
Well, a helper waits within.
Okay. And that means exactly what?
I'm sorry, but I find it completely unnatural.
I don't get why you think cremation's so bad. Everyone outside Navarra burns their dead.
All those lost vessels, fine mansions reduced to ash. Manfred, for instance. How would his wisp have fared if I hadn't given it a body?
Where or who'd you get his body from?
There was no single donor. The arms were recovered from a charnel pit. The ribs were a gift from a dear friend. And Manfred's wisp picked out his own skull from some donations. That was quite the day. He's been fine company during my necropolis
Donated
excursions
skull.
ever since.
What does Manfred understand exactly?
Simple things, but he grows. Spirits of curiosity are voracious learners. The more he experiences, the more sophisticated his conclusions. With guidance, of course.
Yep. Same to you.
It's just Manfred's way of saying hello. I encountered
he
him as a
had-
wisp in
doesn't have a
necropolis
tongue,
years
so-
ago. A simple spirit, but so curious. He refused to leave my side.
So, you built a skeleton for the spirit to live in?
Spirits are formed from the emotions and desires of people in the mortal realm. Manfred's wisp came from curiosity. It's these spirits which animate the dead. Their drive revives the corpse, yet the corpse colors their actions. Thus, the eternal question, are undead inhuman spirits puppeting a body, or does some shade of the departed return?
Any way I can avoid answering this? Please?
I'm sorry. I'm used to arguing with my colleagues in favor of the soul's return. I swear I could see it sometimes, Rook. A glint of recognition of something more in the dead.
Hey, that's my sleeve. Are you trying to steal my buttons?
as well as a certain mischievousness. Manfred.
Okay, interesting. Regret.
You cannot do this, Algernon. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evenuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need
Okay.
strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
Okay, interesting. So the
That was
Veilguard
strange.
just
They
decided.
were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dreadwolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods. Well, mine and Davrin's.
Given what we've seen them do, I was expecting someone to do something epic.
Right? It was so mundane. Nothing grand or cosmic. No setting fire to the sun. It was just talking. Politics.
It's always
I wish
politics.
they were monsters. Something grand and terrible. Seeing them like that, they're no better than Tevinter nobles.
But no worse, either. They were people. And people can let you down.
All right. What else can we take from this memory?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solas, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solas were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
It sounded like Solas was loyal to Mythal. What did Elganon call him? Mythal's lapdog? And then she grabs power alongside Elganon instead of standing for her principles. I'd be angry too.
Angry enough to start a rebellion?
That's not how he'd see it. He didn't destroy the world. Elganon did. Solas did what he considered necessary to stop him.
Solas would try to justify what he did, but he'd also blame himself for what happened.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solas wishes to forget.
His regret. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solas? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dreadwolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solas would have kept in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
Well,
sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Keep dreaming. It's good to have goals in life.
The real dream is getting him to take a nap. So what brings you by?
Nice to have a fellow warden on the team. Our paths may not have crossed at Weishaupt, but we have one experience in common.
Ah, the joining.
The moment they handed
Drinking
us a chalice
the
of
blood.
archdemon blood.
And the moment we took a sip.
What were we thinking?
My head was exploding. You tell me.
I was thinking, wait, I thought this was ale.
Guess somebody wasn't paying attention in class.
Nah.
I thought the joining was some prank they pulled on new recruits.
Good times.
Yeah. Though I can't say I've got it all worked out, being a warden.
Feeling lost?
Sometimes I think about the calling. You hear stories about other wardens who have left for theirs. Here, warden. Thanks for your service. Now enjoy the creepy sound in your head.
But don't worry, that's just an archdemon calling out to Darkspawn.
And before you succumb to that nasty blood you drank way back, how about you spend your final days in the deep roads?
And take a few Darkspawn up while you're at it.
Nice knowing you.
Can't imagine
Good
why you'd
retirement.
be feeling lost.
Well, I find out we've secretly raised griffins this whole time, and you get to play with them. How did I miss that meeting?
Nothing personal. I only got called in when the Gloomhowler showed up.
What's the problem with our illustrious leader? Is the First Warden always a pain, or is it me?
Probably both.
A bit of both. You know he's all about discipline.
And I'm not.
Well...
Okay, so maybe I like to keep things loose.
And the First Warden wants everything lashed down tight. I can see why you might feel a little lost.
Nothing like that. Just trying to learn the ropes.
I'm not sure anyone's really figured it out. What wardens do for a living, it's damned weird.
Not exactly the army of legend.
Legend in the making. You go to war with the army you have. Weishaupt will come through. Along with a very noisy griffin who'll squawk the enemy to death.
No armor can withstand that.
Don't encourage him.
Won't happen again. See you two around.
Be like good for the
Why do you
immersion.
run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything
Yep.
alright?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
Tosh, what's going on? Something is clearly bothering you.
My bet's on mothers and dresses.
Probably.
It's just something my mother said the other day. That I act more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
I wasn't raised under the Qune, but our people believe some jobs are for men and others are for women.
And warriors are men, period.
Yep.
You dress like a warrior. And for Canary, a warrior is a man's job. Is that why your mother said what she said?
No. I mean, maybe. But it's fine. She says stuff like that all the time.
And?
It feels... right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels... right. Why does it feel right?
Tosh, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
If something about being a woman is hurting you, I don't think it's stupid at all.
But what does it mean?
It could be about your mother's expectations, or about how it feels to be a woman and Canary. Or maybe it's being a woman, period.
How would knowing that help? It won't change anything.
Some of my friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
Yeah.
Well, it's all as you left it.
Close enough. I think the caretaker's been tidying up. Rook, now's not the best time to chat. Let's talk later.
Later then.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did. Sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak.
Okay, now it's roasting. That's
Also
the progress.
That, it's kind of mean.
You should remind that thing who's in charge.
That's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions, worded in specific ways.
So it's a chat
So,
GPT.
if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Really condescendingly, based on experience so far.
Yep.
Right! You wouldn't ask questions, you'd tell them what to do, so let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
What or who is a forgotten one?
The bad gods, or so we were taught, told never to speak their names. Elgranon, Gillenane, they were the good ones that you could pray to.
Right.
But now we know the truth about the Evanuris. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solas was one, so best case scenario, like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fen'Harel.
Archive, tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards, hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending. But Anaris will prevail.
Have fun with the condescending spirit.
I'll try. Could be worse, I guess.
Worse, like the wound of betrayal Lord Anaris suffered. Soon he will cast down the oppressors and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Go here.
Let's ask Myrna and Vorgoth about these hauntings.
I'd also appreciate it if we could see to those displaced wisps. Now, despite what you may have heard, spirits who dwell here do so willingly. Most of our working dead are animated by unthinking wisps, which are little more than impulses from the Fade. But later, I could introduce you to some truly intelligent undead.
No. Why?
The offer stands if you change your mind.
Nope.
Nah. Yep, that could be it.
Thank you for coming, Rook. We're in need of your assistance.
Again.
Your letter spoke of hauntings?
Malign spirits freed by the gods.
They have concretized into a variety of forms. Left unchecked, these spirits will cause great harm.
They must be put to rest.
This haunting was once a spirit of curiosity.
It has turned to a darker purpose.
I like this guy.
Those are bones. Has this spirit been scattering someone's corpse around?
It considers this all a game. Let's return the remains to where they belong.
So I think this game wants to... what the game wants to talk about is multiculturality. Then again, it's one of those topics that pretty hard to get just right. Or pretty hard to discuss without having like slightly antagonistic view. Or falling to some logic problem, like this culture is better than others. That's a big guy. Let's do the combo here. Oh, what was that? always kick the mage first.
That's the last of them. Let's look for those candles we have that will cleanse this place.
Old, big old candles. It's a wisp door. Deflect.
Last candle. The vaults should be quiet now.
The air grows lighter already. Thank you again for coming.
A romantic,
My duties include
necromantic
tending to these
garden.
rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
This is so creepy.
No one's going to seize the day for you.
Just so. That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Tja. Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings.
Wait, what?
Hauntings.
Let's continue.
Let's continue. Hauntings, what?
So, what now?
We light candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook?
But these huge candles. It's not
Look
green.
at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon. I'm surprised there was enough to bury.
How interesting that the necropolis moved these gardens so far below.
So the necropolis actually shuffles its rooms around?
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a chamber.
But still possible.
Could you light the next candle? Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants?
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
Even plants have a horrible name.
This way, Rook.
You're right about the gardens being peaceful.
The necropolis has its dangers, but these places are a refuge for the dead.
How many people are buried here anyway?
Excellent question. We rarely should take a new census.
Examining the graves?
Happy he's... Okay. Okay, so
You'll need to light these candles as well.
they don't know how many dead are here.
Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages. I was pleasantly surprised by your respect for our undead tableau earlier, Rook. I'm beginning to think people outside Navarra find the necropolis a little unnerving.
A little.
The Grey Wardens have some unusual traditions too.
Like drinking the blood.
The spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me. Ah, look here.
Hi. Should I say hi?
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but with one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Okay.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Belated condolences, if that's worth anything.
Always. We move on, as we must, but those long nights linger about the shadows.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. When I first arrived here, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me. Come, the next set of graves lies ahead.
This feels a bit like a more religion from the Warhammer Fantasy. They had like this priesthood of
Please,
death.
Light the next candles if you would. There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
And some death magic?
Well, every young mage needs a speciality.
Everyone needs a hobby.
All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom and its rites. I ask you, Rook, what is it for?
It's gotta be the living, right?
Yes, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before. We must get to the candle, please, Manfred.
You told Harding that Manfred used to be a wisp until you gave him a body.
Yes, he's taken so well to it. Haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light. Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell. Let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed. We honor the listening spirits.
from the abyss.
We witness, good watcher, faith kept in all our paths.
What was...
The necropolis hosts many spirits. We thank these guardians for their protection and friendship. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
Interesting, because in previous Dragon Age games the necromancy was big bad and every spirit was like a enemy. So this is like a fresh look on the Fade and its inhabitants. This is where the game goes to the weird fiction, weird fantasy phase. Usually reserved for the Elder Scrolls, but...
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
I wonder
It
why.
wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
This is too heavy for me.
Hasn't everyone from time to time?
When I was younger, it happened more often than that. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying.
Okay.
It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, sunlit streets.
Sounds like existential fear.
Fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
That sounds great. Thanks.
Would you mind letting Manfred pour? He does so love seeing the steam rise from the cups.
You are getting like good amount of experience and skill points from these quests, so. So it's not a problem, or it's rather a good point.
Looks like the candles worked.
I see some of my colleagues have begun the renewal of the vows.
We can't search the whole place. Have you seen how far down it goes?
Trouble coming our way.
Move quickly!
Our strength together!
Looks like the Minotauri planned on taking a few things with them.
The villains.
Let's can we destroy these? No. Okay, that's down. That's also hidden. Okay, this is the right way to go.
I understand that your mother is quite the scholar, Tash.
Yep.
It must have been wonderful growing up learning from her.
Yeah, it was great.
Totally not.
There's a haunting.
Okay.
Enemies in range.
That thing looked like your... Manfred. Manfred better not do anything like this.
Manfred would never be so vicious. Though, when pressed the wrong way, errant spirits of curiosity sometimes turn to malice.
Dangerous, but I think this wisp wants something.
Let's see. All right. I'm on it. Okay.
That skeleton that used to be a spirit of curiosity is gone.
Our gratitude. The magic animating this haunting is ancient.
The gods stole its slumber.
There are no further signs of the Venatori. However, we may wish to send some back as cautionary examples to the rest.
Skeletons. Oh, you sent mages. Take some back as skeletons. Okay. World. So what else? Wrapping up the discussions here first.
Lucanus? Where is he?
What is he up to?
Back, demon! No further! Isn't standing up to them supposed to work?
Let Lucanus go! Don't make us hurt both of you!
What's going on? Lucanus?
It's not Lucanus, it's the demon. It's taking him over. He's trying to leave.
Smells like jam and brimstone.
Yeah, he has some
Do
issues.
something!
Spite? Stop. You're not taking Lucanus through the Alluvian.
I could, if you'd move.
So you can take him where? Off a cliff, or worse?
How did... Rook? Dash?
You tried to walk through the Alluvian in your sleep.
Spite wanted out.
I need coffee.
Are you sure you're alright?
This could be better. It's hard for Spite to take control when I'm awake, so I try to stay awake.
You can't just stay awake forever. I think that would kill you.
I'll be more careful next time.
We do have magical experts here, you know. Once they put their heads together, they'll fix this.
I already talked to Nev and Bellara. Don't worry about it. This won't happen again. And thanks.
I'm not too sure.
You seem at home here. Or is it a front? You know something I don't? So much for a straight answer.
Nev, you don't strike me as an animal person. Besides cats, maybe.
Oh, I'm not. Back home, you find a creature bigger than a cat, and it's probably half demonic. Damned if a third of the cats aren't either.
Yeah.
That's nothing like you, is it, Assad? You might be fluff all the way through. It was a compliment.
Of all the nonsense we've run into, you're what's strange.
Assad? Really?
There's been a god or two I didn't expect. But bad mages trying to make the world worse, that's not new. I had an uncle who went on about wardens and griffins. Loved the feathered things. They were always the heroes. If we're getting bedtime stories turned real, having griffins in the world again, it's not the one I'd have bet on.
Were you close with your uncle?
I didn't see him much, but yeah, we were. There aren't a lot of mages in my family, and in a city like Minrathous, it always matters. I learned quick who wanted to use me to step up the social ladder. My uncle wasn't one of them. He'd have talked your ear right off, Hassan.
In the stories, I assume wardens were heroes too?
Some of them.
And in real life?
Some of them.
Yeah.
Sing your praises and you still want something? I'll find you a treat if you don't tell Davrin. Have we got a deal?
Here, son. Between you and me, I think I like her. A lot. Yeah.
Listen up. If Davrin finds crumbs, Rook takes the fall.
Falling. On it.